What's up, guys? Malzahar here, back for another VOD review. But before we do the VOD, there is a B patch if you guys haven't seen it already. I'll have the link in the description down below. You guys can go through everything. But I mean, honestly, this kind of looks like a fantastic B patch. I feel like they basically just nerfed all of the broken stuff, stuff like Blink Attack on Volibear and Viego, some changes to Zax's hero augment actually, but like Morello and Void Staff being like some of the best performing AP items, Crystal Gambit being understatted, Soul Fighter being overstatted. Like they basically hit everything. You know, they're nerfing mentor stuff, buffing up stuff like Malzahar and Kog'Maw, and nerfing stuff like Ahri. I think a fantastic B patch overall. Hit basically everything that I had to complain about. Even I skipped over 2 costs, but the Katarina comp, I mean, still going to be playable, right? 350 on 3-star to 325. It's not like the comp's going to completely go away, but a needed nerf. And same with GP, early game nerfs. I mean, yeah, no GP3 nerfs, because I do think this is one of those comps that like really was just carried by how strong of an early game unit Gangplank was and things like that. And then some nerfs like Gwen and Yone, Zyra as well, you know, Rise, a little bit of damage and healing nerfs. I mean, they did it all. They did it all, honestly. So I'm really excited to see how the meta is going to shape up. But I will say there was one comp, the comp that we're going to talk about today, who really did not receive any nerfs. Aside from this, almost every single line received nerfs. And so this was already a line that was kind of coming up onto like the A tier. A lot of people, I think, were getting more and more interested in playing around this as a line, and with basically everything else being nerfed and this being not touched at all, I think it will do quite well. I will also say they didn't touch the crew at all, right? And I'm kind of the opinion that the crew is kind of crazy, so I think that's another one to look out for. Maybe we can do a crew VOD tomorrow or something like that. There was also part of the reason why we're doing this VOD specifically from tleyds here, who is quite high ranked actually already, just been smurfing up a storm on the ladder. But part of the reason why we're doing this VOD is not only does he play a cool comp this game, but he also ends up going against kind of an interesting comp here. And so you'll see already kind of an idea of why we would look towards playing a line like this. We get dropped Guinsoo components here. I would say, honestly, this is probably the single best component opener for Kayle. If you trust stats, which you should in almost all circumstances. Stats don't lie, except when they do. If you actually look at Kayle 3 stats, which, spoiler alert, I mean, I'm pretty sure I made Kayle the thumbnail of the video, so not too crazy. But you can see Kayle's BIS. BIS, above all, is actually Guinsoo, Guardbreak, JG. You can see all of these other builds perform so much worse unless you have Radiant Guinsoo or stuff like Flicker Blade, but everything else performs pretty poorly. And you can see just in general, JG does pretty well onto Kayle as an item. Partially, I would say, because you can pair with Striker's Flail, get the ability to get a lot of procs off onto Kayle. And then part of the reason is just, I mean, yeah, JG gives the ability for all parts of her spell to crit. Without that, you can't, and a lot of her damage comes from her spell, obviously. Stars Are Born Spirit League Hero 101. If you want to play Kayle, I mean, the pick is Stars Are Born, though I'm kind of interested in seeing what 2 costs we pick up for that. I know this is something that some people are, you know, not as hyped to take as Stars Are Born, but maybe I just, because I have Stars Are Born brain from playing so much Stars Are Born in set 9, Stars Is Born, as it was even called at one time. Not really, but I called it that. It's almost, you have to. You don't have to pick it up. Okay, that's going a bit far, but it's good. It's good. Let's look at this here. Final form. This is a fun one. I can't imagine it's actually the take here. It is really, wait, they nerfed this. Wow. Because I feel like I played this on PBE and it was like stage 4 or something. This is 5-3 transforms. That just sounds like untakeable. You're literally playing down an entire power up for the you could be dead. You could be dead by 5-2. Magic Expert sounds fine. Frost Touch I actually think is pretty decent. So we'll see if that's what we want to pick up here. You are an auto attack based champion, of course. The only downside to Frost Touch is that the units that you're stunning are really not that consequential. You're oftentimes stunning frontliners, which is like, I mean, is there value in that? I mean, maybe to some degree, but I don't think an insane amount. Okay, first shop here where you can start kind of looking at some of these units. I will say it's kind of interesting, and yeah, we might buy the Vi 2, which I think does make a lot of sense here. And we're not going to buy the Nefaria 2, which I think also makes sense here. So the kind of standard variant of Kayle that people will play around is Juggernaut Kayle. Why Juggernaut Kayle? It's kind of funny because, you know, the unit that obviously pairs up with Kayle is Zachary. So like, why then Juggernaut? Well, you have Aatrox to kind of bridge the gap between Zach and Kayle and you know, all the other Juggernauts, so that works as well. And it is just in general a very solid frontline. It also links up really nicely with Duelist because you have the Udyr, who is a Duelist Juggernaut, whereas heavyweights, there is no heavyweight Duelist. You have to play like Kai'Sa to like kind of link up to that somehow with the Darius, but you can see tleyds is actually probably going to team plan out the entire board here, which pretty easy. Kayle, Zach, and then all the Juggernauts, not too bad. And it is also very nice that, I mean, one, there's some inbuilt synergy in Juggernaut, you get Soul Fighter and stuff like that, and the other kind of nice piece of it is that, well, you need a bunch of frontline for Kayle. Kayle is a unit that, you know, if your fights are long enough, you will absolutely pop off. And yeah, he's actually going to go look at the item stats, like exactly what we were talking through, and he's going to see, oh yeah, look at this. If you cut out Flicker Blades and I don't know, he's trying to filter out some Radiant items and stuff like that, but I mean, he is going to see that JG, Guardbreaker, very, very good here, and he did pick up his JG. He also does opt to finally pick up the Zac here, just kind of sucking it up and saying, okay, I'm going to buy this as my 2-star 1 cost. It is awkward with Stars Are Born when you are playing this into a reroll line, that like you can't really, you know, if you're looking for a specific 1 cost like Kayle in this spot, then you might be stuck waiting a long time and missing all those other 1 costs, right? We didn't buy Aatrox because we were waiting to buy something else, which feels bad. What feels good though is we have upgraded frontline here already. Once we find one, Aatrox will be a lot stronger, and we are 50 gold here. Stars Are Born, I mean, it's just so nice that it gives you all of this stuff. It gives you all of these upgrades, and then it also gives you gold. Like it's I don't know, it's such a nice econ augment because it stabilizes you and gives you the econ. I love that it's back in the game just because, I don't know, I'll try to pick this as much as I can this set because this was my favorite augment, obviously, from set 9, playing the Caitlyn Legend. Just being able to take this every game, you just get to go fast 9 every single game. Oh, chef's kiss. Just beautiful, beautiful design from Riot. When are we bringing these back? When are we bringing Legends back? Okay, we have a lot of gold to roll here, which is really good for Kayle because it's kind of a tough comp to make work. You have to roll for your 3 stars, but then you also need the ability to push levels later. You can't really like roll it to 0 here, or else your life is going to be very difficult. But also, if you don't play for Kayle 3, then I mean, you're going 9 on a Kayle 2. I actually did do that the other day, and it worked out perfectly fine, but it's a little sus. So we're going to roll down a bit here, pick up, we're on 6 Zacs, 5 Kales, which is honestly not bad. Reforge the sword because there's nothing really good it can be, and slam the glove onto Kayle here. We do have Hodge as like a potential slam here. I'm a little bit surprised Mr. tleyds here doesn't just make it, just says, you know what, I'm going to suck it up and make a Hodge here, but to be fair, we win this fight anyway. This rated spore that we're fighting is really, really weak here, so we don't have to worry about that. I don't think it's going to be either of these. These seem impossible takes. Had we not rolled, maybe you could have taken that. I mean, Noble Sack, very solid. Juggernauts is an like HP based trait, and so any kind of armor or MR onto that is really, really good. So I think this makes a lot of sense. Just, I mean, if you guys haven't watched any of my videos before, and it's a fundamental concept in TFT. If your team has a bunch of one stat, you don't want more of that stat, you want more of another stat. We have a bunch of, you know, healing from Juggernaut, durability, and so what is going to make all of that go even further? It's a bunch of armor and MR to play off of. So makes sense. Same reason why stuff like Gunblade is really good in like Bastion type comps. Healing up your units with a ton of armor and MR is really, really nice. Healing up your units with a ton of HP, it's not as good. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, 40 HP here, or 40 gold, 65 HP here. I mean, there's some upside to this spot. I would say it's not the best. We're stuck with this double tier here, which, I mean, these can be frontline items easily. It can be a vow, it can be a redemption, which is not called redemption anymore, spirit visage. So it can be those things, but if we don't end up making the Hodge Slam, which, like I said, I mean, it's probably not great. I definitely would have felt like I need to just suck it up and make the Hodge Slam here just to save some HP. But to be fair, it's not amazing onto True Kayle. The power of JG, I think, in large part is the power to also put Guardbreaker onto her. What is this tleyds and he's pregnant emote? There are a lot of weird tleyds emotes out there. We're gonna take Belt here to finish off the Guardbreaker, I have to imagine, so that we can get this Trubis onto Kayle, which is, I mean, it's very, very nice for Kayle. The other thing, this is a a weird comp because of the way that Kayle works. She spikes really hard on level 6. We are really close to everything here, so I fully expect us to do. I would roll to at least 30 gold here, probably down to 20 here, honestly, at this point. Yeah, he's gonna roll down to 15 here. And even, oh my god, the tempo play from tleyds. But I mean, there's a lot to like about this. The only thing you don't like about this is that we are 1 gold now. But this is what I was about to say. Kayle, she upgrades on level 6, right? She does this thing where she sends out these kind of like waves. And so you need to hit Kayle 3, but then you also need to push level 6. There are these things that are kind of in conflict in this comp, and so you have to be very careful with econ. I do think you really want to be playing this comp from an econ spot here, and we are going to upgrade Zach here, and we took Socialite. This one is so good. The way that this was described to me, and honestly, the second that this player said this to me, it made a lot of sense, is that like a pretty good, like average anomaly will be like 25% damage amp or something like that. I called it anomaly, but whatever. This one, it gives the own unit, like the unit that it's on, 24% damage amp because the champion gains 200% of the bonus. It gives it 24% damage amp. It gives it 400 HP, and it gives that to all the units around it. Like, what? You can give it to your entire board. So yeah, this one is just overstated. I'm quite sure. And fantastic in a comp like this where you can throw it onto a frontline, get all those tank stats onto him. Zach is also a unit that doesn't deal no damage. Like he sometimes does do quite good damage. I had a game yesterday where I played Kayle and I got to play around a Zach with I forget what the name of the power up is. Now it's the one where it says this unit becomes a something like that. It like has all the stuff spinning around it and it like does damage, and then like every takedown you get like permanent HP. And I got like plus like 800 HP or something by the end of the game onto my Zach. And I mean, not only was he, doing damage with that, but the Zach unit himself just with his cast does good damage on 3-star with Wraithen. So we'll see how this looks for tleyds at this point. We were really looking for tank items out of this anvil here, and we get them, honestly. You can make the Spirit Visage. You kind of have to make Spirit Visage plus Adapticone, I would think here. Adaptive Helm here, but we'll see. I wouldn't even be that shocked to like look at like reforging a rod at some point, though we don't have that reforger for now. We're leaving Zach in the same hex, actually. Usually, you would move him up here, but I think we ran out of time, just so that you can start moving the Socialite bonus around the entire board, because it does last for multiple rounds. So it does kind of create this weird mini game where you have to like move the unit every like round and have it jump all around the board. But yeah, it's kind of wild. We also do get, I mean, this is the power of buffed up Malzahar, right? This Malzahar unit, be what is the meme? Be careful who you make fun of in high school, something like that. Be careful making fun of, talking trash on this Malzahar unit, because he's all grown up now. He got a pretty sizable buff, and now this is just Malz with some academia units, honestly, like barely even playing into Malzahar, and he's just doing good work here. This Rakan is tanking well, this Rakan, actually, look how much this Rakan tanked this entire fight. He's just healing to full every single, okay, honestly, yeah, 7777. Wait, that's hilarious that it's 7777. But yeah, almost 8,000 healing from Rakan. Not bad. All right, last augmento here. I mean, Blazing Soul, I mean, it's AP and attack speed for your AP attack speed carry. I don't hate it. I don't think either of these really make any sense. So yeah, I mean, we don't have much AD to convert for Mess Hall, so I don't think it's very good. And Sword Overflow, I mean, we don't have one of these units to itemize. Ooh, Belt Overflow is really juicy. You probably just take this, huh? The only problem is who's gonna hold your Morellos, but yeah, I like this better than all these because it's a third item for Zach. It's also a Morellos for somebody. I guess Udyr for now, maybe no one for now. Really interesting. We're just gonna hold off and making the Morellos yet and just make the double Warmogs. I mean, the double Warmog is obviously very solid, but I would have thought, I mean, maybe we're just looking to make Sunfire and we're not going to make Morello because at the end of the day, Kayle is our only backline carry. And if you throw Morello onto Udyr, it's not going to do too well. Honestly, okay, if that's what tleyds thinking, then this is very smart. We get to play a little bit. You greed for a round or two, but honestly, our board's quite strong now. We have both of our 3-stars. We are, waiting to get that next big spike of hitting 8 jugs. And then the huge spike is, of course, level 9, which you have to have later. That board that tleyds looked at for a second there, by the way, that's the other comp I want to talk about in this video, because honestly I might do a video on it tomorrow because it looked really, really interesting, this game. We also still have Frost Touch on the kill, and you can see when you get to the later points in the fights, once you actually got through the front line, it actually does a ton of work onto the rest of the board. It's just, yeah, it's a little bit rough at the other portions. Okay, yeah, I think this is the idea here. Take this, take chain, just make Sunfire here. I think it's very, very smart to say we don't actually have another Morello holder on this board, and we are not going to. We're going to play for more Juggernauts later. So yeah, bring the Zac back. Play just another Jug on this board. Kind of thought he was going to play the Volibear, but honestly, another Juggernaut's probably better. Plays into the Juggernaut bonus, and it also, yeah, it does everything you'd like. Okay, we can actually pause here and look at it, because this is the board. Let me jump back before we get like effects and things like that. I want to talk about this board, because this board, nobody was playing this, you know, on the start of set, and it honestly looks pretty good. So what is this? This is an Akali plus K'Sante duo carry board, and the idea is you play Perfect Cell, and then you play strats with it as well. So you play perfect cell. You have the connection between K'Sante and all this stuff via Zac, which gets you heavyweight in, and it also gets you Wraith, and then this lets you play perfected cell. And then you can just fit more strategists onto this board. He even has a TF here, which I think this board is very open as far as what stuff you can play. You can fit stuff like Jarvan. You can fit stuff like Janna on this board as well. But I mean, he has a TF, so he might as well play it. And I mean, you'll watch. This is also an all-out K'Sante, which I think is probably integral to this comp, is having him just go off from the start. But look at the work that this K'Sante just carry does. 10,000 damage, and looked like he was barely taking any damage. I mean, this unit looks insane. So maybe this is my VOD for tomorrow. We'll see. We might actually watch this game from another perspective tomorrow, or maybe I'll find another VOD of this, because yeah, like this comp looks really good, honestly, i.e. K'Sante. I mean, the stats look, I mean, yeah, at 3.57 AVP. Okay, yeah. tleyds kind of in real time realizing, wait a minute, is this comp broken? And I think the answer might be yes. So once again, maybe that's our VOD for tomorrow. It's a little bit more niche, but I want to talk about this one because it's reroll, it's fun, and I think, like I said, it's the only real meta comp that didn't get nerfed. I think this was a tier below. This is more like A tier, but it's quite good. And interestingly enough, I feel like I've seen more people play around Akali recently. Everyone on PB was talking about how bad this Akali unit is, and they didn't really change her on the B patch at all. But I think the fact that everything else got nerfed, sometimes that allows other units a chance to shine when otherwise they wouldn't be able to. So yeah, level up here, going to look for our set here, I would imagine. Looks like you were really playing for gold here. I will say the other kind of question I have about this comp, and hopefully tleyds will answer it for me this game, is who are we itemizing now? I mean, maybe you could just TG Gargoyle, but then you have this leftover Gunblade. It's really awkward. You probably do want to just make a bunch of tank items here. I mean, Lee Sin is the obvious kind of other unit that you can carry later, but it's not guaranteed, right, that we make it to Lee Sin. If we start making Lee Sin items, I guess you could do that, would be the idea. You would make something like IE, maybe not even IE, Edge of Night. This rod is really throwing me for a loop here. You could make Gunblade, I guess, to get rid of the rod. That seems like the best item you could build out of it. You would go Gunblade. You don't want to go BT Gunblade on a fighter. That sounds awful. Gunblade Gargoyle IE, maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm actually really curious to see what he makes here, because this feels so awkward to me, is actually itemizing the rest of these units. And I mean, this is what happened kind of because we took this extra item augment, Okay, so he ends up almost having it time out there and ends up taking the glove here. I think tleyds himself was a little bit dizzy here, because you can see he still hasn't slammed the rest of his items yet. I mean, this fight's, basically over at this point, but rough fight against Give Him the Chair here, down to 18 HP. Yeah, I think it's a bit greedy. I don't know why we didn't really roll last round, but okay, we do pick up one set, because one set is a giga upgrade on this, but I think you just probably ran out of time. I mean, we are still early days, so we are going to make Spark here, which, I mean, it's not bad in this comp. Kayle does have inbuilt shred, so it's not amazing, but Kayle's shred is like most shred that you get from abilities, only 20%, so Spark does give you that extra 10%, which is pretty good. So there's some upside to it, though I will say, wow, honestly, we're seeing so many comps I feel emerge, because this is Protector Smolder as well, so we're gonna drop down to 2 HP here, which is a little scary, but honestly, we're 62 gold here. Don't you just hold the line? Because level 9 is such an upgrade here. You just have to make it to level 9. You just have to win one fight, and we're going to be so much stronger. He is trying to dodge this Akali, because Akali does go to the first unit. Okay, we don't fight Akali. We fight Okay, if there were ever a time to fight a weak board, this is actually Bastion Snipers, which Bastion's got buffed. So you know, this is another board that like might be emerging. I will say tleyds pretty weak board, does clear it a bit, and R3 as well on that board, dude. Like almost every board in this lobby. Ooh, is it? I mean, Jug plus. Well, don't you still take Jug +1? I was gonna say it's not that good because it's a Fawn on a board that doesn't really need a Fawn. But maybe there's something to it. I mean, you would level up here and then you could play 4 Wraith. Honestly, it sounds pretty good here. He just took the tank item here, which I mean seems fine as well. But okay, we also picked up Lee Sin here. This is huge. We get the Juggernaut in. Now we can put these items onto Lee Sin. We are gonna level up here, play the Twisted Fate, put the triple item onto the Lee Sin here, and okay, we are finally online at 5-5 on 2 HP. I mean, like if we top 4 this game, then this comp is broken because we were starting the game on 2 HP essentially. And I mean, honestly, so many things did not go well this game, though. We had to like roll it to 0 to stabilize on Kayle. It looked very scary, but you can now see why people play this comp because we have hit level 9 and we have truly spiked. Kayle is so strong now. We do have the Twisted Fate that we can play for as well. He's finally going to change the power up here. We hit that one that gets extra stats on attack. Not amazing. Honestly, I don't even mind Cyclone Rush, but we'll see here. Is Critical Threat good at all? I don't think Ramping Rage is that good. Did he take Cyclone? He did, right? Yeah. He actually cheesed the Cyclone. What a rat. The person he's scouting here can't even like know that he's getting it. This fight looked really scary though. K'Sante ran back to the front line and I think that's enough to win. Ooh, that was scary for tleyds, but he does get the win off there. Huge. And all of a sudden we can see a path to top 4. It's scary. We very well might die, but the Cyclone, I mean, this just buys Kayle time. Time for Gwynsu to scale, time for her to get through the front line. I actually like this a lot, but we'll see. He does have the opportunity to remake power up if he wants to here. We are also still tanking the Zac, which is kind of funny. You know, triple item Zac. I imagine once you find the 2-star set that you're supposed to move items over to him, but we'll see. I mean, Zac is still benefiting from Wraith, which is kind of cool. So let's see. We do find 2-star set here. And yeah, he is going to move. Okay, he's going to leave items on Zac and just itemize both. Makes sense, honestly. Oh, we swap Kayle out of the Socialite Hex. Wild here. Throw the Gwynsu onto the TF here. Is this enough? This guy's board was so strong last time he fought it. I mean, the Kayle's doing work, but oh my god, that unit in the corner is just not dying. What is that? Is that Rakan? Oh my god. Okay, we are dead here, but Raditz is dead more, and it's a top 4. I love when you die and it shows you on the top 4 thing. Nico, it was Nico 3. Okay, this comp also has some legs. Protector reroll a Schmolder here. 20,000 damage blocked from Nico. I mean, this is a great lobby to show off just comp diversity in the meta. It almost seems like everything's viable. Everyone was playing something different. Obviously, things are going to shake out more over the next few days, but I will say this comp from tleyds, very, very strong. Pretty straightforward to play. You do need a lot of gold because you need to hit your 3 stars and make it to 9, but you can see how strong his board was once he made it there. Obviously, we rotated into this very strong Smolder board, honestly, and so it's hard for a 1-cost reroll to beat a 3-cost reroll. But honestly, if things had gone slightly different for tleyds, I mean, you could see him doing very well this game. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.